So the virtual tours through the Hingham Heritage Museum and the Hingham Historical Society are being developed primarily by myself in partnership with our lead Old Ordinary volunteer, Ellen Miller, who helps run and organize most of the programming that takes place at the Old Ordinary. And so the two of us have been working on developing these experiences, which at this point in time are just focused on the Old Ordinary, so that we can ensure that this year's group of fifth graders can maintain what has become a Hingham tradition of having the entire fifth grade class come through the building and experience the historic structure. So at this point in time, it's primarily focused on the Old Ordinary, but over the summer, we intend to expand these virtual tours to be of the other society properties. The main structure of the virtual tour that we're developing currently has several key components. The first will be initial materials, video materials primarily, that will be sent to teachers to forward along to their students as a primer that they will experience or watch prior to attending the virtual tour experience. Then there's the key tour experience itself, which will be primarily a combination of PowerPoint and 3D dynamic images and 360 views that we can do of 7 of the 9 rooms at the Old Ordinary. So we've taken 2 of the rooms and condensed them into several others to ensure that we can be concise and make sure that we hit our time frame that we're looking to fill, which is approximately a 45-minute tour. And so the students will attend with their teachers and approximately 2 to 3 society staff who will help organize and run the virtual tours. There will be 8 in total, where classes will double up and attend them the same way they would have done it in person, which is typically 2 classes at a time. So it will be 8 sessions in total. And then there'll be follow-up materials that will be sent to the teachers afterwards to forward along to their students. That will be additional activities and additional resources that they can continue learning and building on what we talk about during the virtual tours. So at this time, for the initial the test is going to be for the 5th graders. So they're going to be our guinea pigs and get this up and running and make sure it's all looking perfect. And then over the course of the rest of the spring and into the summer, there'll be opportunities for Hingham citizens or anyone really to experience these tours. And that's one of the things we think is a benefit of producing these tours and thinking long term, is that it gives us an opportunity to showcase the Old Ordinary and share those experiences with people who aren't necessarily local, outside the state or across the country. And then also in thinking again about in the future when things do eventually return back to normal, we think that there will still be a heavy degree of reluctance when it comes to people, particularly people who are more risk averse to coming back into these social spaces. And so having these materials and having these experiences in the can, so to speak, allows us to ensure that these people can still experience the the cultural and heritage sites in Hingham without having to be there in person. So at this time, it's going to be primarily focused on the kids. And then over the course of the spring, there'll be opportunities to sign up for regularly scheduled tours the same way we would do in-person tours of the Old Ordinary. We expect the reaction to be very positive. We were very thrilled with the reaction from the 5th grade teachers when we first approached them with this idea. We weren't sure how receptive they were going to be to it. They have a lot on their plate right now, and they're doing incredible work to try and ensure that the 5th graders and all grade levels are able to continue learning in this kind of remote environment. And so we were unsure about how receptive they were going to be, and they were thrilled with the idea of being able to offer this to the students, make sure that this particular batch of 5th graders doesn't miss out on, again, what has become a fun Hingham tradition. I took the 5th grade tours a long time ago, and so it's nice to be able to continue this. And so we think that the Hingham community is going to be very receptive to it. As I said before, when things do return to normal, there's going to be a lot of people who are hesitant to return to these types of spaces, these public gathering spaces. And so in addition to the virtual tours, being able to continue offering virtual lectures and other sorts of things, has become a primary focus of the Historical Society, as we intend to try and ensure that these experiences are accessible to the widest range of people, even during this time. We're very grateful for all the support from the community for the Society, everything we've been doing, the history moments, and our new pandemic archive, the Hingham on Hold archive. The response from the community has been tremendous. And we've been really fortunate in that everyone has been so supportive of these initiatives and so receptive to them. And we're excited to be able to gather all these materials and document this time in a robust way so that in the future, we can look back on this and learn from it and see how we all came together as a community. And the way that individuals in town are helping us with that mission has just been so positive and so overwhelmingly supportive, and so we're very grateful for that. We are going to be launching a test cases of these. We're going to be running tests of these prior to when we launch for the fifth graders. That's likely going to start next week. And so if there are people who are interested in maybe jumping on board and attending one of those test sessions, to get in touch with us, and we can try and connect you to one of the test sessions and see, because we want to get a group of people together so we can kind of mirror what it will be like to have 30 or 40 kids attending and see what that will look like. All these will be held on Zoom. And so, yeah, I would encourage you to get in touch with us, info@hinghamhistorical.org, to ask questions about the tours or to inquire about possibly joining one of the test sessions.